Marriage is for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do you part. Hence, on this program today, you and I will decided to bring your way a doctor to tell you the things you need to know when there is no doctor, because this marriage is in sickness and in health. I am Chioma John. I want you to join me as I introduce my guests on today's episode of You and I have here with me Ebere, and you're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Representing the sponsors of this program, You and I have also Dr. Chibike Chukuma. You're welcome to this program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I said to you that marriage is for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. Hence, Healthcare Equipment Limited decided to be our guest today to tell us their reasons for partnering with us. I want to start with Dr. Chibike. Can you tell us why you decided to be our guest on You and I, not just to discuss about the intimacy between husband and wife?
Thank you, John, for having me, having us on your program this evening. Good evening, viewers at home. It's a pleasure being here. You and I is a program that cares for the family, and like you said, marriage is for better, for worse, in sickness
and health. Yeah.
So we're here today to let our viewers at home know that there are basic things that should be available in the home, okay, for basic health checks. If any member of the family is not in good health, the family definitely is not complete at that time. You know, there's worry, there's concern until the person gets well. So we're here to, in fact, during this COVID period where there was lockdown, I received so many calls, and that made me reach out to our sponsors to come today to discuss a few things that the family needs to know about the health care of every family member, where there is no doctor.
Where there is no doctor.
So, today we'll be showcasing a few equipment and items from our sponsor, healthcare equipment, that every household should have in their house. We have things like the blood pressure apparatus. Please, can you display to our audience what we have? The blood pressure monitor is, we have different types, okay. This one monitors the blood pressure at home, okay. So she's going to be talking about.
Yeah, remember,
yes.
Families watching you now, like myself, if you ask me, who uses it, we know that mainly doctors, nurses. In a family where you don't touch people, so when and where, who handles this? Who?
Good. This, what we have here is the electronic device.
Right.
In the hospital, we have different types of blood pressure monitors, but at least we advise that families should have the electronic device which displays what the blood pressure reading.
Who needs it? When would the family need it?
Beautiful. Every family needs it. We have a lot of people that are living with high blood pressure. They are on medications for high blood pressure. Even families that do not have a member with high blood pressure, once in a while, we should be able to check our vital signs. One of the vital signs is blood pressure check. Okay, so if they come to get this material equipment, they will be educated on how to use it. So, for example, if a family member comes down ill or is a known hypertensive, the person could easily just check and put a call through to the doctor, health worker. Okay, so what's your blood pressure reading? That alone will be able to guide, will advise better. So, okay, at this blood pressure, please come down to the hospital. Or at this blood pressure, have you taken your medication? Or repeat this blood pressure check in the next 30 minutes or 1 hour. Okay, so these equipment, they are very important to have in the house. What other ones? Like
there was something you said this morning behind the scene about a woman that called you last night.
Yes.
I want you to.
Yes, a woman called me last night. She was alone, the husband was not around, and she called me that the child was having running temperature. Okay, so I told her, do you have a thermometer in the house? A thermometer could have solved the problem of her driving down to the hospital where I was.
Okay.
But she didn't have a thermometer at home. And a
Conversate.
thermometer is there to check body temperature. And we have the normal body temperature. Okay, so it's my duty to now tell her, okay, if she had a thermometer at home, like this digital type which she's displaying, would have just said, okay, that body temperature of that child is okay. This is what you do. In the next 30 minutes, next 1 hour, repeat this blood pressure check, give the child water, perhaps the child is dehydrated, then get back to me. But she didn't have that, and because it's a child, I had to tell her, okay, come down to the hospital, let me check. But when she got to the hospital, we checked, and the child's body temperature was okay. I just reassured her and let her go back home. Okay?
Which that's what this would have really solved.
Exactly. This would have solved that problem. Okay? We have different types also. Alright? But these digital types or digital forms, it's easier. Okay? So that's for the blood temperature.
If you are just joining us, you are watching You and I. You might be wondering why we're talking about health here. Was starting, I told you that marriage is for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. Hence, we are here to talk about the basic family health care, which our sponsors decided to come up to tell us, to teach us on how to handle some equipment when there is no doctor and your spouse or your child is down. Don't go away. This program is still on. We shall be going on break. By the time we come back, we'll hear more from the doctor. Stay tuned.
Do you have a hospital, healthcare center, or school laboratory and you are looking for state-of-the-art equipment to stock it with and make it up to par with international standards? Search no more, for we are here to meet your needs. Healthcare Equipment Limited, your number one most reliable importers and distributors of medical and laboratory equipment, medical consumables, reagents, radiological equipment and consumables. We also deal in dental equipment, surgical instruments, forceps and orthopedic equipment for both public and private hospitals, maternity homes, healthcare outlets and school laboratories. Furthermore, we engage in public-private partnerships, installation trainings, repair and maintenance of medical equipment, after sales and services, and we also sell at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? Visit us today at number 31 Ava Road beside Leventis bus stop, Port Harcourt, or call 0817-415-4891 or 0818-251-9468. We also have an online platform for your convenience, www.hcelos.com. Remember that life has no substitute, so let the quality we offer be your watchword.
Welcome to Healthcare Equipment Limited, helping you save lives.
I guess you're still seated. Let's go back to the doctor. He has talked about high pressure and high fever, how to check them with thermometer. The next step, what next? What other thing can occur in the family that without a doctor being around, a spouse will be able to handle?
Good. We have things like asthma. Asthma is a respiratory disease or condition, okay? Especially in children, okay? Even some adults have asthma. All right, we have things like nebulizers. Okay, now this nebulizer is a machine that we put a drug inside that vaporizes to open up the lungs. All right, so in the Western world, especially during in the Western world, yeah, have these things in their home, in their houses. All right, so if you have a child that is asthmatic or another that is asthmatic, we talk about what we call the nebulizers. We also
Is
have
it here?
Yes, this is a nebulizer. This is a motorized nebulizer. Okay. We also have what we call the pocket nebulizers also. Yes. So now this machine, if it's in the home, could save life. If the person, if the father or the mother is taught to use this machine, you nebulize the child or whoever is suffering from that asthma. You nebulize the child once. You can speak to your doctor or your health provider or a medical personnel. Then if the child persists after the first nebulization or second nebulization, that will help transport the child or the person to the hospital in cases of severe emergency. All right, so nebulizer is there. All right, we also have the things like weighing scale for the obese people. Today we have children, because of the western life we are drifting to, a lot of eateries are out there, so it's important to check our weight. When we check our weight, we do what we call body mass index. This is a weighing scale. In fact, go to most hotels these days, they have all these things. You know, you check your weight, you monitor it, you know when you're increasing in weight, you know when you're getting obese. These things that we educate the family to have. When they come to the hospital, these are all part of what is done in the hospital as part of vital signs and measurements and anthropometry. That's what we call it. So these are all part. These are the first things we look at before we start asking the person what brought you to the hospital.
Right.
So they are very important. If someone is sitting before me and the blood pressure is way high, I don't need to start asking a lot of questions. I will start intervention immediately.
Okay.
Or the weight or the temperature is quite high. In fact, part of the COVID checks is temperature check. If you go to most establishments, you see people with the infrared thermometer. I don't know if you have it here. All right. So the infrared thermometer is there to check the temperature. Temperature above 38, 39, 40. Is an alarm for us. So we want to know what's causing the temperature. Okay, so these basic things are there to help the family. I will call on Inobon Ebere to please show us all we have. Then I will talk about the needs for them in the home.
You are still watching You and I. Basic family care. That is what we are talking about today, where there is no doctor. And you know, when you talk about health, you talk about family. You cannot separate family from health issues. It's either the child or the man or the woman. That is why we are here today to tell you what to do. My husband has been lying down for a long time. My wife has been lying down. My child has been having high fever. What do I do? Even maybe in the midnight, as the story the doctor shared with us here.
Okay, we also have the glucometer. This is to check the glucose in the blood. So one thing we noticed is that with this COVID season, during this COVID season, a lot of persons stay at home, and because while you stay at home, of course you eat, and you don't exert this energy. Most times there's so much sugar in blood, especially for those that are diabetic. You know, you don't have a time to go out, do workout, so that this
fats
burn off
sugar.
yes, burn off the sugar. So because things like that happen so frequently now, we find a lot of people come to the office. Please, I need to check my blood sugar level. So we have these machines that can help you. It's digital. It's easier for you. You can use it yourself at home. You could use this, you could use this. There are so many types. There are different types. When you get to our office, we'll show you different types and you make your choice. You understand? So you could use it to know your blood sugar level, and after that, your doctor will advise you better on what to do to yourself. So it's very important that you have things like this at home.
All right, doctor,
Yes.
having you here today, and you're here talking to families, what do you have to say? Like I don't have this thermometer to check the fever, but I notice my child is running fever. I now go out to buy that paracetamol or Panadol or whatever to administer. What do you think?
When there is no doctor, there are basic things that should be done. I'm happy I'm here today, and I believe this is going to be a continuous program. We have different conditions and different basic home care, or in quotes, first aid. Okay, at least everybody knows about first aid. We also have the first aid box. What should families do with first aid box? If there's a fire burn, hot water burn in the home, people do a lot of things that when they get to the hospital, we'll be like, ah, you shouldn't have done this. Okay, there are trips, there are falls. We have staircases in our homes. These children must play. I played growing up. So these children must play. Sometimes they stumble, they fall, trips and falls. They could have cuts. I had a child that was caught glass in the home. All right, so fractures could occur. What do you do in situations where there are fractures? You know, breakage of the bone. In fact, most people, in trying to rescue victims or in incidents of these cases, accidents or incidents, domestic accidents at home, they even cause more damage. So if we have things like this or this avenue, we're able to teach them, okay, and tell them this is what you should have done. You have a fracture, you just get a splint, and you get a splint, you get a bandage, you just roll over it to keep it in place and transport the person to the hospital. All right, you have a cut. What do? You get a gauze. This thing should be in this first aid box. You get a gauze, you put over the bleeding area and use your bandage and just roll over it. At least put a pressure there. That will limit the blood loss. Then when the person gets to the hospital, we continue as professionals. So these basic things are important. In fact, in the industry, in the companies, these things are part of the things they assess.
If I may ask, those things you mentioned now, are they in here, or when you get this box, you now buy those things to fill it?
Yes, that's why we are there. We advise you on what you should have in here. Yes, there are so many things: the spirit, gauze, cotton wool, just little items that you would need to put inside here and keep it at home. Just like doctor said, the kids could have a fall. You take care of it just immediately before you get down to the hospital. Some kids nail, rusted nail, they step on it. Those are things that could cause infection, just like this. But with your first aid box and all those items inside it, which when you come to our office, we'll tell you about those things. You use them, apply it on the kid immediately just before you transport the child. So your child is safe. Even you are also safe.
Yes. Just like she said, the first aid box, this is home equipment, they are very vital. Very vital in the sense that if they are there, for example, in a case of hot water or fire burn at home, we see cases where people, they break egg, and those things,
salt.
No, those things are not there. There's what we call burn shield. Burn shield should also be part of the first aid box. Know how to use a burn shield. Even things like fire blankets. These are things that people, basic home safety and care. Fire blankets. If there's some people while cooking, while frying, whatever they are frying, you see the pots get inflamed, you get ignited. With a fire blanket, roll over it. Mosquito nets that she just brought out now. People come down. We are in a malaria endemic zone. In fact, we say it's holo endemic in this part of the. It means that malaria is there with us. All right. Even from pregnancy, from the womb, we get exposed. Begin to get through our mothers. We get that immunity. We get exposed to malaria. So with just a net, it saves. This is the highest form of prevention of malaria. As other things you do, like keeping the environment neat, cleaning your gutters and all the rest. So these basic things should be provided or should be there in the home.
All right. Personally, I'm really enjoying this episode of You and I today. Before we leave this place, we want the Healthcare Equipment Limited to tell us a little about where we can get these things.
Oh, thank you, Mom. Just like the doctor has said, all these things are very important in your home. So when you if you need any of them, you can get to our office. Our office is at number 31 Bar Road, just beside Leventis bus stop, or even beside road safety office. You can get things it's very affordable. And right now the good thing is that Healthcare Equipment Limited is running a promo on most of these items. So when you get to us, we will tell you everything you need to know about your basic home facilities, basic home health care facilities. Thank you.
All right. And doctor, finally, what are you telling the people that have listened to you?
Yeah, thank you once again. We have a lot to talk in terms of home care. I want to say it's important. We have most of us, we have our pastors, our reverend, and all those who have their numbers. You should have your doctor's number at least. We encourage every family to have a family doctor. We are there. Is our work, is our calling. Have a family doctor to advise you. But the family doctor should be able to ask you or advise you on one or two small things to do at home. Okay, we have a variety of topics to discuss in terms of home care: diabetes, hypertension, obesity, asthma, domestic accidents, a whole lot. We can't exhaust it in a very short time like this. So we encourage you to get this item, get this equipment, then reach out to your doctor. Your doctor will advise you on how to use it, how to use the blood pressure monitor, how to use the glucometer for blood sugar, the temperature monitor, the thermometer, the weighing scale, all right? How to also the effective use of a bed net, the first aid box, and the contents. These are basic things that are available in the home front or in the house. With that, your doctor can advise you on how to use them, and I believe you could get it like our sponsor have said. They are running a promo now, so it's important you go visit them. They have health workers also there that could advise you on how to use some of these things. But where you don't have them, your doctor will advise you better, or you go to a hospital. In fact, some people come to the hospital sometimes with their own machines, with their own equipment, and will not tell them the proper use of these things. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today. Most times I tell you that we love you on this program. You and I will really love you. Yes, we want every family as you're together for you to be healthy. Even if you have the whole wealth without good health, you will not enjoy it. Cook and cook feel everywhere. If you're not healthy, it will be difficult for you to know the tastes or even enjoy your food. We want you to be healthy. Remember, I keep telling you, You&I is open for sponsorship. If you sponsor it, this is part of the benefits you get. Till next week, we'll still come your way with another topic. Our Healthcare Equipment Limited. I've told you, you better get this equipment and keep your family moving. I am Chioma John. I want to say bye-bye.